Welcome to day 7 and the last day of week 1. If you made it this far and took in all the content, I want to say I'm super proud of you because you invested the time, and this time is going to invest in you. That is just one success habit of many that will power you through any of the obstacles life throws at you. Your habits are what determine your destiny. This is going to be the last day for a while in my office, so if you're tired of looking at this, don't worry. We're going to switch the background because I'm going to show you some cool stuff at our new facilities here in the Tampa Bay area. But good habits lead to positive outcomes. Bad habits lead to negative outcomes. It's really simple science. I'm going to say it one more time. Good habits lead to good outcomes. Bad habits lead to negative outcomes. So that is your incentive to establish good habits. We all know we need to. Here is just a shortcut to help get you going. So my goal, and hopefully your goal, is to establish some habits that are going to make or take you all along the journey that you have set out to do in this health transformation. So what isn't simple is introducing productive habits into your daily routine and then staying consistent with them until they become second nature. This is really what a habit is all about. You may have heard that it takes 30 days to create a new habit. I think this is more of an urban legend than truth, but the takeaway is you have to stay with it until you don't have to think about what you're doing anymore. That's a habit, just something you do instinctively day in and day out. In today's content, I'm going to share some key takeaways from the best-selling books on the topics of habits, including High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard, Atomic Habits by James Clear, Game Changers by Dave Asprey, Tools for Titans by Tim Ferriss, Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi, and The 4 Disciplines of Execution by Chris McKenzie, Sean Covey, and Jim Huling. These are all great resources for you to read and dig deeper into the content on success habits. One of the first habits of all successful people is constant pursuit of knowledge and personal growth. Not saying that I'm successful by my definition, but I'm working towards it. But as you can see, or maybe you can see, the books that I have poured my life into, I'm constantly trying to improve what I know so that I can serve people better. And the takeaway is time focused on improving and establishing good habits translates to improving all areas of your life. So what is a habit? In James Clear, in this book, Atomic Habits, defines a habit as a routine or practice performed regularly, an automatic response to a specific situation. The premise of his book is the cumulative impact of small 1% changes are more important than the one big monumental shift. You get that concept? Are you following it? Small, consistent changes are more important than some big monumental accomplishment. And that's the problem in the mindset so many people come into any kind of transformation or any kind of goal with, is they're going to just make this huge change and everything's going to be perfect. That's not how it works, unfortunately. The science shows it's the small, daily, consistent habits that are going to get you to where you want to go. So this is an important concept to grasp, and it is the premise of my explanation to clients that true transformation requires a 1-year mindset. It is the small steps taken consistently that take you to your destination. In our instant gratification world, we all want to take that quantum leap and magically achieve our goals overnight. If you look at most overnight success stories or overnight successes, there are years and years of practice, planning, preparation, and performing behind their success. But because a video goes viral or they win a Grammy as the best new artist, we assume that they hit it big because they were lucky and they hit it big overnight. not you. I don't want you to fall into this ignorant trap. Take the time to look into these people's stories, and you will learn to appreciate all the sacrifice that came with their success. I am always intrigued to hear the stories of musicians who practice their craft and play their songs and for free or for gigs in small town dive bars for years and years before getting their big break. Let's dive into some habits that will help you become an overnight success. I want to start with a simple exercise from Dean Graziosi's book, Millionaire Success Habits, which is this book. And I'm just showing you these because these are really great resources, which you can also read in the transcripts of these videos. But from this book, one of the exercises is really awesome. And what it is, we're going to walk you through it right now. I want you to imagine it is 1 year from today and you are looking back at the past year. You following me? 1 year from today, you're looking back at the past year, which is actually the year ahead of us now. Are you following me? So looking back on this year ahead, I want you to see the absolutely best year of your life. You are completely fulfilled in every area of your life and you are on fire. You're excited to wake up every day because you are serving your purpose and you're in the zone. You handle distractions with the power of purpose. You should be getting goosebumps just visualizing it. Now pause the video and close your eyes and reflect on everything you see and feel. Just do it for as long as it takes. Okay, so if you're back with me, I want you, hopefully you did that exercise, and I want you to walk through this with me. What did that look like for you? Did you get any insights or experience any true emotions? If you didn't, you need to dig deeper and get truly engaged with this exercise. Ask yourself, when you look back in that perfect year, are you taking care of financially and have some extra savings for your security? Where are you working and what are you doing? Did you finally start a company or complete a goal that you've been putting off or procrastinating? Are you commuting in traffic to an office? Or are you working from home? Or are you not working at all? How are your relationships with your spouse, your friends, and your family? If you have kids, how and what are they doing? You get the idea. The second step is to look at each area you visualize and ask yourself why this is important. The deeper you go, the more rewarded you will be. If you started and failed countless times in your life, it is because you are staying at the surface level. You have to search your heart and soul to find the truth about why you want what you want. This exercise will or should confirm your why that we uncovered in day 2, and I hope you just experienced the next daily habit of successful people, gratitude. If you did the exercise, you should be thankful you have some real answers and direction for your life, and that, my friends, is priceless. Speaking of gratitude, if you learn nothing else in this course, if I can teach you to practice gratitude in your life every day, your life and happiness and those around you will improve in a way you may not believe is possible. In Dave Asprey's book, Game Changers, he consolidated the advice of 450 different experts he calls game changers, and he distilled all of that advice with statistical analysis into 3 categories: smarter, faster, and happier. So in the happiness category, guess what the key to happiness is? You better believe it is gratitude. I've taught you that your thoughts control your beliefs and your beliefs control your emotions. Far too often we are guilty of focusing on things and thoughts that we don't like. The key is to shift your thoughts to things that you like, you want, and you are grateful for. Don't miss that point. Shifting your thoughts from negative to positive, like I said before, is hugely impactful and can change the course of every single day of your life. I can't emphasize how important this is, especially if you are trying to lose weight and improve your health. When you get upset or experience a stressful situation, you activate your stress response. The sooner you can calm down, the better. Our parasympathetic nervous system and the vagus nerve dictate how fast and well you calm down. One way to improve vagal tone and recover from stress is through social interaction. This is why community is such a critical component of our why at Triumph. Another way to calm down that you can do anytime, anywhere, calming down from stress or anxiety, is being in a state of gratitude. You see, when you are in a state of gratitude, your nervous system signals that you are safe and everything is okay. So if you battle with insecurity and fear that drive these negative thoughts, this is a way to combat it very simply. Learning how to be grateful is one of the most critical tools to have in your toolbox. Practicing gratitude opens the door to forgiveness and can change even the most negative perspective into a positive one. Just right now, doing this video for you, I look before every time I shoot at my family picture because this is something I'm grateful for, and no matter what I'm thinking about business-wise, this puts me into a grateful mindset so that I can talk to you right now with my best. So I practice what I preach. So Tony Robbins, which you've probably heard about him, if you haven't, you should. He is arguably the most successful personal development coach in the world. I've heard him speak in person, and my wife and I are going to his Unleash the Power event later this year. He credits his insatiable drive to help and serve people to his horrible childhood and growing up in a broken home with an abusive and drunk mother and a prideful, broke, and absentee father. Tony could have easily played the victim card and ended up being the counselee instead of the counselor. In fact, I'll share with you a quick story that I heard him share with us personally. And that is how when he was about 8 or 9 years old, this church member brought his family on Thanksgiving Day a complete Thanksgiving feast. And obviously somebody knew this family was in desperate need because they had absolutely nothing, no food. And when Tony answered the door, being a young man, he was like, wow, this is amazing. Well, his prideful father refused the food and said, we don't need your help. Thank God the person that was delivering the food knew how to handle the situation. He put his foot in the door, opened it, and said, don't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Don't be so prideful that your pride is going to take away your decision to do the right thing. And he barged in, put the food on the table, closed the door behind him, and left. The power and the impact of that one event is what Tony Robbins credits with his insatiable drive to feed the hungry around the world. And if you don't know, like, all of his book proceeds and a lot of what he does in all of his 30 plus companies goes to Feed the World campaign, and his goal has been to feed 1 billion people, and he's well on his way. I mean, I think there are over 500 or 600 million meals per year. So anyway, that's just a quick story, again, of how life's tragic situations can be turned into triumph. So learning to take a different perspective can help you get over past traumas and change the story in your head that is preventing you from being successful. Tony says it like this: if you can just divorce the story of your limitation and marry the truth of your unlimited capacity, then the whole game changes. I want to read that to you again. Tony says, and get this, if you can just divorce the story of your limitation and marry the truth of your unlimited capacity, then the whole game changes. We can learn to change the stories in our heads by practicing the habit of gratitude. Gratitude is a muscle, and you must exercise it to make it stronger. According to behavioral change specialist U.J. Ramdas, to experience the greatest impact of gratitude, you must think it and feel it. So here's a simple gratitude exercise you can use every day. This is something my wife and I have done for about the past 8 months, and it has had a noticeable and dramatic impact not only on our relationship with each other, but our relationship to others, our friends, and our children. So do this exercise first thing in the morning to take advantage of the primacy effect. The primacy effect just says that something that will have a greatest impact on your day, or the impact of this little exercise will be significantly greater by doing it in the morning. So ask yourself and answer these 3 questions. So here's the exercise. All you have to do is carve out some time, and you can do it in the bathroom in the morning. I don't know what your morning routine is when you're sipping your first cup of coffee. Just do this simple exercise. Close your eyes, make sure you're not being interrupted, so you could call it your quiet time. So the 3 questions you need to ask are, what am I grateful for? So what am I grateful for? Question number 2, what can I do to make today great? And then question number 3, what kind of person do I want to be today? To get the most out of it, write down the answers to your questions. Tony Robbins spends 3 minutes each morning thinking about 3 things he is grateful for and visualizing them in as much detail as possible. And these don't have to be crazy, monumental things. He actually recommends simple things, but changing them every day. It could be the fact that your kids dress themselves that morning. It could be the fact that you have gas in your car, or you remembered a chore or an errand that you were going to do when you're normally more forgetful. Simple things, but you can be grateful for those things. It's getting into the mindset and feeling of gratitude. That's what's important. If you want a resource to help you, download the 5-Minute Journal app on iOS or the Google Play Store. And that will actually facilitate the process for you, and you can actually journal your answers. Also, don't forget to share your gratitude with your family and friends. You could take a gratitude walk in the morning as a great daily habit and get in the habit of writing thank you notes to express your gratitude to others. Finally, combine gratitude with forgiveness, and you have a game-changing combination that will take you into a calm, focused, productive, and positive mental state. If you've ever been the opposite, you know it's really hard to get anything done. So that's an incentive to do that exercise. So once you establish gratitude as a daily habit, let's move on to Brendon Burchard's high performance habits. He consolidated the 6 consistent habits of the world's most successful people. I actually learned these from Brendon when he spoke at a marketing conference I went to earlier this year with my wife, Holly. So I'm going to sum them up like Cliff Notes version for you from my shorthand notes, but I highly recommend you read his book, High Performance Habits. And you'll get a lot more details, obviously, that I'm about to give you. But let's talk about habit number 1. And just for point of emphasis, we're going to write these down for you. So habit number 1 is seek clarity. You get clarity by asking questions. Everybody knows Oprah Winfrey, right? And she has an amazing tragedy to triumph story. If you've never heard of it, Google it right now and read her story. It is going to blow you away. But Oprah Winfrey, arguably the most successful female in history, at least financially and through everything she's accomplished, starts every single meeting by asking the question, what is the intention of this meeting? She is seeking clarity and getting everybody aligned with that habit. So your vision of yourself can't be limited by your past or current circumstances. You have to believe in yourself. That's the clarity I want. So let's move on to habit number 2. So number 1 was seeking clarity. Number 2 which week 2 is going to help you with, but it is generate energy. The largest study ever conducted on human performance determined that high performers take a break every 52.4 minutes. So throughout their workday, they calculate breaks at least once an hour. So I'm going to ask you, do you take breaks? By working less, you will accomplish more. And obviously having goals and writing them down, like we discussed, will also keep the clarity of what you're doing, and ultimately you're going to accomplish so much more in your day, even though technically you're spending less time doing it. In life, if you help others find, create, and obtain energy, like I'm trying to do for you, those people will be able to accomplish more as well. This is one of our missions at Triumph by programming the world's best workouts to give people more energy and better health. All right, so that's a great habit. Energy gives you the juice to do what you want to do. So habit number 3 is raising necessity. So raising necessity. When something becomes necessary to you, for you, or about you, your energy and approach will dramatically improve. Think about the last time you went on vacation. How much, like when you're trying to get out the door and you have to make a flight, how much do you accomplish in that last hour or 2 before that flight? Necessity, so you're not late to that flight, elevates your game. So ask yourself, related to helping others, who needs me on my A game today? Let's create some necessity through that daily habit of realizing you could do so much more with just a little necessity. So habit number 4. You've been following me so far. Number 1 was seek clarity. Number 2 was generating energy. Number 3 was raising necessity. And something that we all want, habit number 4, is increasing productivity. We all want to accomplish more in the time that we're given, or accomplish more so that we have more free time. So I'm truly blessed to have a business coach and personal mentor named Ron, and he's a retired Fortune 500 CEO, and if I had time I would share his amazing story, how after he had a stroke, he decided and made a pact with God that he was going to retire at 55 and for the rest of his life just help people with free coaching, and I was fortunate to be one of those people. And his only requirement is that you are a good person. So I guess by his standards, I meet that criteria, and I've been blessed by what he's taught me over the past 8 months. But in the first few weeks of coaching, I was like, all right, we're going to be talking business and all these things. The only thing we focused on was blocking time each day to plan the next day. So each day, making the time available to have a game plan for the next day, and then documenting what that is so that you can keep track. It seemed so simple at the time, but actually doing it had a tremendous impact on how much I was able to accomplish in a day. Likewise, high performers and the most successful people in the world all block time to plan each day. Yes, it's simple, and you can do it. You will accomplish more. And don't just plan your work, plan your life works and what matters the most. And relevant to your transformation, you should be planning your meals, you should be planning your workouts, or using the plan that we are providing for you. Follow the plan. Having the plan, or at least looking at it the night before, programs your subconscious mind for the next day, and you will be more successful. And speaking of success, successful people spend 60% of their time on things that matter most to their life's purpose or their life's work. So that is the priority principle. So let's go on to habit number 5. So you realize we are working through these, and I'm writing them down just to give you a visual so you have that for reference. So this one's near and dear to my heart and why I created this program in the first place. Habit number 5 is develop influence. How do you influence others? We all have an influence on others, whether you like it or not. But how can you do it and serve a greater good or serve a life purpose? Well, first, you can teach others how to think, like I'm attempting to do with you right now. Second is challenge people to be better. Challenge yourself to be better first, but through your actions, you can challenge other people to be better too. And third, role model the way for others to follow. And this is what I say, your body is your billboard, or practice what you preach. Those are all ways of role modeling for me in what I do. Without a doubt, I use all of these to influence others like you in the hope that I can have a positive impact. You can do this too and help others in your circle of influence by sharing what you learn. By you paying it forward, I'm talking about sharing what you have learned in this program or anything in life, but pay it forward. And by doing this in this way, you and I create a ripple effect where we will both have an even greater impact. So that, my friends, is influence. And finally, habit number 6. And this one we've addressed some way when we talked about forgiveness. But habit number 6 is demonstrate courage. Never be afraid to stand up for yourself and others who are pursuing their goals and dreams. Keep walking forward through your fear. Again, courage is simply a mindset muscle. And like the other mindset muscles we talked about, forgiveness, gratitude, courage is another one. So exercise that muscle and you will develop the greater courage. So the last habit I want to dive into is accountability. Many of my clients have come to me expecting me to weigh and monitor them each week to miraculously solve all their past failures with weight loss, bad habits, lack of self-control, and the list goes on and on and on. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way. My weighing somebody in every week is not going to reprogram years and years of bad habits or not using the disciplines and habits that we've talked about and you've learned in this program. In the book, 4 Disciplines of Execution, which is right here with 3 authors that I mentioned in the beginning, the 4th discipline of the 4 is to create a cadence of accountability. The essence of this habit is making a personal commitment to a team or an individual who you are also invested in accomplishing the same goal or objective as you, or meaning they are also invested in accomplishing the same goal or objective as you. So in many of these client situations, I am meeting these people for the first time during a consultation, and they want my accountability. Because I haven't known them for long enough, we haven't formed a credible bond that I can leverage into true accountability. With my established clients that I've known for months or years, this kind of accountability can be effective because we have a deeper level relationship. They know from my actions over time that I am invested in them and their goals are my goals. So what is my workaround with the new clients regarding accountability? I advise them to identify 1 or more people whom they respect and trust. Then I ask them to share their written goals with that person or those people and ask for their support. The clients that actually do this always, always, always have more success than the ones who don't. And typically the ones who don't do it will blame me for their failure because I didn't provide enough accountability. Please don't be one of these people. Really. You're above this. I've given you the tools. You have a toolbox full of them now, and you deserve more from yourself. Coming through these 7 days with me, you know the error of this stinking thinking and have all the tools to be successful now with any challenge you face or goal you want to accomplish. You've learned how to master the mindset of success. You've discovered your why and understand the power of the IPO process. You can use the 4 O's to power past any crossroads or obstacles on your path to your destiny. If you didn't write down any of your goals in days 1, days 2, day 3, please, please, please do it right now. Write it down and you will be 85% more likely to achieve it. Put those goals somewhere where you can see them, and I usually suggest on the refrigerator, on the bathroom mirror, and at the work or wherever you work, somewhere where you see it there. And some people even put it on their dashboard in their car. Powering your conscious and unconscious or subconscious mind, you're going to be more likely to achieve those goals. So simple exercise, just like the time management one, but it is very powerful. So never underestimate the power of the law of attraction by writing those things down, or as I like to say, beliefs create reality. So tomorrow we start week 2, number 2, and I hope you're as excited as I am because this is what it's all about when we talk about the secret sauce. You're going to learn the secret sauce to ultimate health and what my book, The Magic Pill, was all about or is all about. In fact, the week 2 content is my core identity, passion, and purpose, and I can't wait to share it with you. I will also reveal my victory training method for the first time ever on day 12, and I will explain what I call the healthy addiction and how you can get your daily dose of it. I will also teach you what types of exercise are the best bang for your exercise buck and what could be a waste of time. We will uncover the myths and truths about exercise and so much more. It's going to be a blast. Stay with me now, and we are on our way. See you tomorrow.